Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Print Pros. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make a shirt like this one using sublimation. Wait, no, not this one, like this one. Yeah. Today I want to show you guys a really cool feature of our Ricoma R550 white toner transfer printer that is really going to step up your printing game. So if you're familiar with sublimation printing, you probably know that you need certain kinds of equipment to be able to do that kind of printing method. For many of you, this means that you have to buy a whole other printer just to be able to do sublimation printing. Now the beauty of the R550 is that it can transform into a sublimation printer by just switching out the toner cartridges. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to turn your R550 into a sublimation printer, and I'll walk you through all of the steps to printing and transferring a sublimation printed design onto a white t-shirt. In other words, the R550 can do it all, from heat transfers to everyday black and white printing to sublimation. All right, let's start printing. All right, so let's go over the materials that you're gonna be needing for this. There really isn't that many of them. First up, we got just a regular sheet of printer paper. That's what you're gonna be using to create your sublimation sheet. Then we have Teflon for our heat press, and we have a smaller sheet, and this one is going to go inside of the t-shirt. I'll explain why later. And then we have a much bigger one, and then this one goes over the entire t-shirt. Then we have our 100% white polyester t-shirt. So that means that for sublimation, at least the way that we're doing it right now, you're going to need a white t-shirt, and it has to be 100% polyester. And then lastly, we have our sublimation cartridges for our printer. Now, I am also going to show you guys exactly what you have to do to change out the cartridges inside of the printer for one of these. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be using the Ricoma R550 white toner transfer printer to print out our sublimation sheets. Now, this printer is awesome because it can create transfer sheets for all kinds of surfaces, including plates, mugs, everything. Now, being able to do sublimation on regular printer paper is actually another exclusive feature of this printer. So if you guys are interested in this printer, go down to the link in the description below. It does come available in bundles that include a heat press, software, training, transfer sheets, everything you need to get started. Now for our heat press, we are going to be using the Ricoma HP 1515. Now that 1515 stands for the surface area of the heat press itself. Now if you guys want to learn more about this heat press, you guys can go down to the link in the description below as well. All right, so let's get into how much you could be making by selling these shirts. So we bought these shirts online at jiffyshirts.com, and we paid about $5 for each shirt. Now the only other materials that we have to take into account are just standard printer paper, which doesn't really cost much, and the toner for the printer. So that means that your overall cost per shirt is going to be about $5.50. Now you can sell each one of these shirts between $15 to $20. So your profit is going to be around $9.50 to $14.50 per t-shirt. All right, so the first thing we have to do is convert the Ricoma R550 into sublimation. And to do that, all we have to do is open it up and change out the toner cartridges to sublimation. Now, most of my toner cartridges in here are already sublimation, as you can read right here, but I left one of my standard toner cartridges in the printer so that I could show you how easy it is to change them out. So if you had a standard toner cartridge in here and you wanted to switch to sublimation, all you have to do is just grab it, lift up, it comes right out, and insert your sublimation toner cartridge into the printer. To make sure that you're not putting them in the wrong place, it is color coded by CMYK. Then we just close up the printer, and let's go on over to the computer. All right, so we're over here at the computer, and we're gonna go ahead and print out our sublimation sheet. Now to do this, we're gonna be using the iColor ProRib software. This software is included with your printer. And in the future, we're gonna have more videos going in depth into how to use this software. But for today, we're gonna keep it to just how to print out a sublimation sheet. Now, to do this, we're gonna have to come up here and pick the CMYK option. Now, if you saw the video last week, we actually used the overprint option to print out our two-step transfer sheet. But today we're going to be using the CMYK for our sublimation. Then all I have to do is just drag over my design, wait for it to load up. All right, here we go. Now I designed this graphic using Illustrator, so it is already perfectly centered and to the right dimensions to fit into an 8.5 by 11 sheet of printer paper. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start setting this up for sublimation. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is that I'm going to choose my tray on my printer. Now since we are using the tray for standard printer paper, it's gonna be the bypass tray. Then I'm gonna go ahead to job. Now the next step is to mirror it. And this is very important when it comes to sublimation, because if you do not do this, then your letters will be backwards on your t-shirt. Then I'm gonna pick my printing option on my printer, and for that I'm gonna choose Sublimation Toner Vibrant Colors. Then I'm gonna go to my color adjust, and because I want my print to be nice and vibrant, I'm gonna raise the saturation to 5. I'm gonna press OK. Now all we have to do is just right click and press print. And that's pretty much it. All right, so I already set my design to print onto my printer. All I have to do is load my regular printer paper onto this tray, select the tray that I want to print from, and press OK. All right, and here we have our sublimation sheet already mirrored and ready to put on the heat press. All right, so let's go over to our heat press. The first thing I gotta do is pull out the tray. This is an awesome feature that I love about this heat press. Again, if you guys wanna learn more about it, you can go down to the link in the description below. Next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my 100% polyester white t-shirt and I'm gonna place it on the heat press. I'm gonna try to put the collar as centered as I can and try to smooth out any wrinkles that it might have. But don't worry if you have a few. We're actually gonna go ahead and press it for about 5 seconds at 385 degrees just to get rid of them. Now another great feature that you just saw is that this heat press will automatically open as soon as the timer that you set is done. So you don't have to worry about overheating your shirts. Gonna go ahead and take this smaller sheet of Teflon that I specifically cut for this purpose, and we are gonna go ahead and place it inside of the shirt, right where our design is gonna go. Now this small piece of Teflon inside the shirt is going to prevent any toner from transferring onto the other side of the t-shirt, since we really only want our design on the front of it. If you don't place this small piece of Teflon inside of your t-shirt, you're probably gonna end up with some residual ink on the other side of your t-shirt. Then we're gonna go ahead and take our sublimation sheet and we're gonna place it face down on our t-shirt. And we're gonna place it where we want it to go. Now I usually like to go about 4 fingers right below the collar. Something else that you can do is that you could actually just cut around your design. That way you have a more exact shape to place on your garment. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and take our bigger sheet of Teflon and we're gonna place it over our entire t-shirt and design. Then we're gonna go ahead and place our tray inside of the heat press, and we are going to be pressing this for 50 seconds at 385 degrees with medium pressure. Gonna go ahead and set my timer to 50 seconds and press. Man, I love that. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and pull out the tray, take off our Teflon sheet. Now be careful with the design, but we are gonna go ahead and take off the Teflon sheet that is inside of the t-shirt, being careful not to move our sublimation sheet. And then carefully, we're gonna take off our t-shirt. We're just gonna set our t-shirt aside and we're gonna let it cool down for about 15 to 30 seconds. All right, so it's been about 15 to 30 seconds, maybe even longer. So let's just go ahead and peel. Sublimation printing is a great way to create bright and vivid prints that are chemically bonded to the garment, so it won't crack or peel like other methods. You can also use sublimation on hard surfaces like mugs, coasters, and more, as long as they are poly-coated. The Ricoma R550 white toner transfer printer is one of the most versatile printers in the industry. You can pretty much do anything with it. Just pair it with one of our heat presses and you'll be ready to start making awesome customized goods for yourself, your loved ones, and most importantly, your customers. Before you go, if you want to connect with other apparel decorators like myself, join our open Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery. There you'll be able to ask any questions you want and join the community. Also, to get the latest in the world of decorated apparel, follow us on Instagram at Ricoma HQ. Alright guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Print Pros.